G'day guys, it's springtime, which means that we're thinking about putting some spring ferret on, or we're looking at paddocks that are going to be put into winter brassicas or regrassed, etc., etc. So you're most likely going to be getting some soil tests done in the near future. So I thought I'd run through how to record them in your FarmIQ, and then even better, how to use that information and data to make some informed farm management decisions. So first up, what you've got to do is you've got to put in your transect lines. Now, they don't have to be accurate. You can be if you want, if you've got paddocks with different sort of topography within the one paddock. But for my example, my paddocks are more or less the same soil type and altitude, etc. for each paddock. So I just put in a random transect line. So these are the ones that I already have in place. So if I just added another one in, next, and I just name it, name of the paddock, 16 square, and save. And you only have to do that once for each paddock. So when I come to do a soil test in 16 square next year, when I'm putting that into grass again, I don't need to put that in. I can just record it against the same transect line. So let's go through and I'll show you how to put in the soil test from there. So you go land, management, soil tests. Come up and click your who did the soil test and the date that it occurred. Say it happened today. Say I did it. You don't have to put in all of this data here. Anything that doesn't have that red little star, you don't have to bother with it. So here it needs to know your transect line. Let's say we're doing that 16 square paddock. And this was for cropping. I'm looking at putting this into kale for the winter time. And it's just ad hoc. So let's put in some details here, shall we? Olsen peas, I'm pretty lucky. We've got healthy Olsen peas on our farm naturally. Calcium, 7. Magnesium apparently was through the roof. Potassium was 7. Sodium was 3. Not much salt in the diet here. Sulfur sulfate. Yes. Extractable organic sulfur. 12. And there's a whole heap of things here that you might not care about. So for, let's say for soil sample depth, that doesn't bother me at all. That's not valuable to me. So I can just get rid of that. And that will get rid of it for the rest of the samples as well. But if you want it back again, you can go add another characteristic and put it in. But you can just add in all the details that you do want in there. And then you can add another sample for another transect line and just keep going through. So you can do them all at the one hit. And then once you finish that, you can come into submit test. And it's all done. Now, using that information, we've got a very good report on your soil tests. So you click on this one that looks like a graph up here, your report center, come down to land, and then click on those soil tests down there. You can adjust the filters down here. I'll punch this back, 2020, last 2 years, and I am concerned about my Olsen peas because phosphate prices are going through the roof. I want to make sure that the phosphate I am putting on is going where it's needed. So let's have a look at the results here. So it can tell me where it's all good with the optimums. So I'm not going to put any phosphate around here, any superphosphate, but these here are a dash below optimum. So this is the only place I'm going to be putting phosphate this year.